Evening all. My name is Susie. How's it going this evening? It's going pretty good so far. I think we can all agree. You're allowed to answer me in this bit. It's a bit of a breaking the fourth wall. It's really impressive. Anyway, I'm here today to talk to you about these people that I'm sure you've all seen them. You know who I'm talking about. That like live on the streets and they normally have like a cup and they're asking for the money. So I wanted to talk about them today, and I thought I need to work out the actual word that I'm supposed to call them. Now, my first instinct was tramps. But I feel something about it makes me feel like maybe this is derogatory, and also it means something different in America. Am I right? This is like you're a shag if you're a tramp in America. So yeah, Italians agree. So fuck that idea. So I thought maybe I'll take an American idea instead, and like hobo. That's maybe a more American, but that just makes me think of gay hobbits. So then bum. That's another one, right? He's a bum, just a bum on the street. But I figured after Amy's performance last week, no one can really read this without getting a bit of an erection. So again, that was not this. Well, I lost it a little bit here. I'll be honest with you. Accommodationally impaired. I thought maybe impaired was perhaps a bit much, so I went for accommodationally challenged. What was that? Right? I don't know, maybe a bit long-winded. So I took a while, I'm not going to lie. And then after a few little blips, residentially flexible was eventually homeless person was the one that I went for. Actually, I looked it up. There's this thing, I don't know if you know it, it's called the internet. And if you need to know something, but no one is willing to teach you it, you can just find stuff there. So that's where I found that out. Anyway, there's these homeless people, right? So I figured there's a few ways that people react to homeless people. There's the one type of people who just, they walk past, you know, they ignore the person. The more extravagant maybe will pretend they're talking on the phone. I do that, I'm pretty good. Or, you know, look the other way, like this. Anyone, who is that person who just walks past when the homeless person? That's cracking. If you could just hold on to that little songy inside there for you. So, then there's the other people, the other end of the spectrum, who seem to be best friends with all the homeless people that they meet. You know, they'll go up to them, they'll buy them like a whole Big Mac, yum, right? And they'll know their names, and they'll have a chat to them, and it'll be great. Is anyone that sort of person? No? Alright, well, you can have this anyway, even though you're clearly a bad person. And then, you know, there's the people who are sort of in the middle somewhere, so maybe they'll walk past and apologise, but not give them anything. Or they'll be even better and give them half. Like their leftovers, which I used to think was a really nice idea, and then I realised it's scum. You know, but maybe they don't. Maybe they just chuck some money at them and like walk away. Is anyone somewhere in the middle? Anyone? Sweet, well, there you go. You that's yours to keep, you lucky fucker. I am number one for the most part. I walk past, normally, like I say, I pick up the phone. Hilarious. But basically it's just to try and avoid a really awkward situation that they need the money that I sort of have but sort of don't. But one day I decided, no, I'm going to be the other one. I'm going to be best mates with a homeless person. Fortunately, there was one sat outside Budgeons for about 2 years. And it was really awkward because it was obvious that we recognised each other because I went into Budgeons every fucking day and he was sitting outside Budgeons every day. So I decided, right, this is going to be the guy. I'm going to be such a good person. Turns out I was shit at it. So my first attempt at making friends with this guy, I think it was something along the lines of, oh yeah, alright, please, yeah, no worries, mate, yeah, alright, man, yes, you. Because apparently, when I'm in an awkward situation, I just take all the laddish terms for friends that I can think of, mush them together and just throw them at someone's face. I don't know. It was awful. Eventually, though, I did manage to talk to him. I managed to ask him how he was in, like, actual human words, and he managed to respond to me in human words. His name was Mark. He was a nice guy. And then for a long time, I would go, every time I would walk past, I'd have a little bit of a chat with him. Be nice. I'd find out what he did during the day, begging, usually. Found out where he slept last night in the park. Found out one night when he got beaten up by loads of people in the park. It was pretty rough, but I think he appreciated the human contact, which is nice. The fact is, all those good intentions went down the drain pretty quickly, because the fact is I was late for work all the time, because I kept having to talk to him, which took a long time. So, I did something a bit bad. I started walking on the other side of the road just every time. I'd stopped going to Budgeons, that's for one, which is probably a good thing. And then I started walking on the other side of the road. Now, I don't know if any of you went to C of E primary schools, but this song that is about to play just then started going over and over in my head constantly. It's another most fucking awful sound you've ever heard. So, it lasted for about 3 months. I walked on the other side of the road. I avoided Mark. This god-awful song would go over and over in my head every time. And I would feel bad, but not bad enough to actually do anything about it. Now, I don't actually know what happened to Mark. I haven't seen him for about a year. I sort of hope that he's got himself a house and a job and all of that. The fact is, he could be dead, and I wouldn't know. I guess I'll never really actually know.